Welcome everybody to Latin Nerds Network in the second episode of Thanos Choice, our nerdy take on Sophie's Choice, where a tough decision will be made today in the realm of TV and movies. I've lined up some very beautiful guests for you today, none of which could come, so they had these three blokes on screen that you see now, who I'll introduce shortly, who will make this tough decision, because as always, I am just here as Thanos' proxy. I'm here to ensure that the decision made today will be snapped away. Of course, I've been donned the glorious, of course, the gauntlet, Infinity Gauntlet, so I can snap away a decision or snap away Eric, depending on how many bad jokes he tells later. Or bad impressions. We'll get to that in a second.
Very nice,
but that being said, we just make the rounds here. Who's going to be discussing, debating here between two behemoth films? That's going to be the main event today. Because I got this because there was a story out, two stories out. One was that Ridley Scott, good director, who directed the original Gladiator, has just wrapped up filming Gladiator 2. I don't know why there's a Gladiator 2, but there is, so be it. Maybe it's going to be good. I don't know. So I got thinking about Gladiator. And then there's another story where Mel Gibson is going to be directing Lethal Weapon 5 for HBO Max. I think that's been pretty much confirmed. So I'm thinking, Mel Gibson, Braveheart's his best film. I guess we can debate that, but I think it is. So I figured, why not? Mel Gibson, Russell Crowe. We got Gladiator versus Braveheart. We'll be discussing that. But before we do that, there's going to be an appetizer, as there is before the main course. But let me introduce these fine, semi-good-looking fellas, depending on how good your quality of your phone is. First, we got live from Houston, the co-host of the Watch List here every Sunday, going over every show that gets released on streaming. Es Señor Jaime Chuy, how you doing?
Good morning, ladies.
You ready? You have a Sean Connery impression for us? No, I don't want to get
No, I
that.
do not.
That's a pre-production meeting.
I'll give you the Spanish Sean Connery.
we'll say that till later.
It's very subtle. It's subtle.
The host of Nerdsplaining right here again on Latin Nerds Network, weekly show going over all the nerdy stuff, movie shows that come out, trailers. Of course, very funny comedian, the Brazilian sensation himself, Mr. Eric Da Silva. As always,
I'll have you know,
adorably offensive.
Thank you. We're out now in all places where you buy albums and download music and stuff. I'll have you know, Sean Connery, still to this day, by my counts, the greatest Spanish actor of all time. So I don't know what the big problem is with certain accents. That man nails it all the time.
I wasn't gonna do it this early, but I guess Eric is gonna have to go here. We're gonna have to.
All right, that was
American, Scottish.
Come on, dude.
Scottish all the time, but different layers. There's layers to this bitch. It is like a Monte Cristo of Scottish in everything. I
tell you this, and I'll tease on next episode. Nerdsplaining, Eric. There's a story about scientists trying to prove whether it's possible for Thanos to actually snap or not. That's a true story. We'll get into that later. Ridiculous.
Oh my god.
Ridiculous.
Sure.
But I just gotta talk about that later. So we'll talk about the Nerdsplaining this coming week. And of course, I don't leave this fine gentleman out. Of course, he is the CFO of Left Field Productions, one of the sponsors of today's show. The Spaniard himself, very appropriate since we are talking about Gladiator. Es Señor Jorge. What's going on, George? How you doing?
Good, pretty good, man. Glad to have you guys.
And I'm really happy that for the first time you discovered that there is a cellular network. So I'm very happy for you. I know you're having issues logging on, so you're aware. 5G or 4G LTE or whatever G you have.
5G LTE.
Good for you, Joe. I'm happy you're able to discover that. It's like the caveman discovering light. Oh my god, for the first time.
It hasn't reached over here yet. Yeah, it hasn't reached over here yet.
I
haven't reached out to you guys yet.
We love you, George. But that being said, but again, we'll get to Braveheart and Gladiator in a minute. But first, we talked about Ghostbusters earlier off air, and you're thinking about Ghostbusters, Bill Murray. I didn't want to use Ghostbusters because that's going to win most every time, let's be honest. So, that being said, I'm also watching a show called, Shrink Next Door? Chewy's at the show on Apple Plus.
That's correct.
Starring Will Ferrell. And I think, Will Ferrell. Okay, so I got me thinking, it's a good appetizer for today's show. So, that being said, I got a good one for you guys. You guys have not been privy to this, so I'm going to let Chewy go first on this one. But first event is going to be Will Ferrell's Old School versus Bill Murray's Groundhog Day.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah. Punxsutawney Phil versus All Boy Blue.
Phil?
So, listen, I think I speak for you when I say we all love these films. I'm gonna make that.
Yeah.
assumption.
Oh, man.
And
No
if
doubt.
not, we got a bigger problem
No
on our
doubt.
hands. But
No,
yeah,
they're all-
these
both of them are great.
yeah, the Ghostbusters would have won. Just why I didn't choose Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, right.
To
So
be
I'm like, you
fair,
know what?
if
To
it
be
was
fair.
a three-way fight, Ghostbusters
Maybe
all the
right,
way.
Ghostbusters all the way. But I'm thinking, I think this is Groundhog Day, his second best movie for me anyway. I might be wrong with that, but either way, it's a fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, old school classic. Come
Oh,
on,
my God.
Vince Vaughn. So Chewy, I mean, put your feet to the fire. You're first up here. I know you put you on the
Oh.
spot. Old school
No
versus
shit, dude.
Groundhog Day. Who's getting snapped here?
I
Excuse me.
am. It's a tough choice, man.
This is a tough one,
I
right?
am-
It's a good one. This is a good one.
Yeah, because there's lines, there's actors, and they're both funny. They're both held up. I mean, but I'm just tossing a coin. I'm going old school, man. I'm going old school.
He's going
I
old school.
mean,
Okay,
they're
old
just-
school.
I mean, obviously, we're splitting hairs in my opinion, but old school's got those classic line. We got the streaking through the quad, right? We've got earmuffs. There was just a wider cast of characters in there. Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, Wilson, who is the guy who is an Entourage. I can't remember that comedian's name.
Oh, Jeremy Piven.
Jeremy Piven. We've got the
Ari
lady
Gold.
from Grey's Anatomy. I mean, we have an ESPN cameo. What was his name? He was a creep boyfriend who was heading on one of the server ladies. in
Yeah,
the
I forgot his
bathroom.
name, but yeah, he used to be
Guy
one of the popular
Code-
ESPN
Guy
hosts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig Kilborn.
Craig
It was
Kilborn.
Craig
Yeah,
Kilborn.
There you go.
Craig
Craig
Kilborn.
Kilborn,
Good call, George.
I mean,
You're
there's
welcome, guys. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. So many characters, so many scenes. I mean, Simon Helberg is in there. I mean, we got my boy Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
I mean, that scene
I get it.
with the KY jelly wrestling. You see the R-rated one, and he's just.
That's I think that happened to George once, but he lived.
We were not talking
kidding,
about
George.
that.
Just kidding.
He froze.
No, yeah, I mean, I have my thoughts, but I'll let. So you're going with old school? Wow, okay.
We've got a Snoop Dogg cameo, dude.
That's true. Of what's the? It was a concert sponsored by with Vince Vaughn's.
His audio play.
Audio
Stereo
City.
Something
City?
stereo. Yeah, something
Stereo
audio
City?
shack.
Stereo City.
Is it
Yeah,
audio?
Stereo
Is it? Yeah, Stereo City.
Yeah, something like that.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's got to be one of the all-time great, homegrown house parties when you can bring Snoop as the main event.
Okay. All right. So we got one full school. Again, I think either choice is fine as far as I'm concerned. George, let's go to you because I know you're a big fan of both these films. So who do you prefer? Old
Oh,
school?
most definitely. I mean, obviously, old school has influenced a lot of college parties. It obviously it's taken a lot of influence from other films that have shown that type of party or whatever. But I'm sorry, man. I know it's old school here, but and it's a classic movie. But I like Groundhog Day, man. I like Groundhog Day.
Okay.
It's every things that happen. The fact that they use the actual location. Like in Punxsutawney, they use Punxsutawney Phil. They do the whole thing. Don't drive angry. Yeah, don't drive angry. Don't drive angry.
Little Shuddy and Cher repeat.
Yeah, can I get one of flapjacks?
And then he goes, Phil Connors,
Phil?
is that you? And
What's
then
that first step?
What's that first step? It's a doozy.
There's a lot of lines in that film.
Then the other guy keeps going over there. He goes 5, 4, 3, and he goes, "You never thank me.
Oh,
No
yeah,
matter
the
how
kid.
many times I've saved you, you never thank me." So I mean, there's a bunch of lines. There's a bunch of cameos. He goes, "Did you know he could do that? Like ice sculpt, right? Did you know he can do that?" He had like other stuff there that he had to do, like dance. WrestleMania tickets, and then like how he tries to prove all that stuff that he's doing on at the diner. I mean, there's a bunch of characters in there too. There's a bunch of classic lines, so I got to give it to Groundhog
Chris
Day.
Elliott, I think, who's underrated.
Chris Elliott too.
Yeah, Chris
underrated.
Elliott was the cameraman.
Yeah.
He's the cameraman, and then Andy McDowell
Andy
is in there
McDowell.
too.
Yeah, the love interest,
The love interest. So it's a little bit for everything, and then even the it's Groundhog Day. Like the whole thing.
It'd be 6 a.m. in the morning. Okay.
Yeah, it's at 6 a.m. in the morning. Hey, fellas, you're playing yesterday's tape.
So all right, so you got one of each. So tiebreaker goes to Mr. De Silva. What we got here? What we got here? Old school or Groundhog Day, Eric? What do you got here? Who's getting dumped?
So first off, I let's give credit where credit's due. There's a part of my life that I'm going through right now that I can absolutely relate to Will Ferrell in Old School. Just his entire life is falling apart, and he's like, maybe I got a shot of being happy in the most juvenile way possible, and I can totally respect that. I'd be like, yeah, you know what, this guy makes a lot of sense. No, like, and to George's credit, he's right. Old School is basically Animal House and every other version of like a house party, a college party, and it's I can't tell you how many times I've seen people beer chug or people start screaming Frank the Tank. Like, it's just one of those things everyone's got.
See,
right.
I kind of wonder how many people have gone, Ma, the meatloaf.
Hey man, don't forget the blowjob party.
Oh no, that Mom Milo, that was a
The meatloaf is Wedding Crashers.
that was Wedding Crashers, but a great night.
Wedding Crashers. Yeah.
Thanks for getting confused, George.
I'm confused.
Sorry.
I'll handle it from here.
Sorry, go ahead. It's my bad.
The floor is yours, Eric. Again.
So go ahead.
So, but at the same time, Groundhog Day is something I feel like everyone can relate to. Like, if you found out you were reliving the same day over and over again, most of us would try to kill ourselves for a certain period of time, and others would take advantage of people that make it look like we're super psychic or super compatible, just to because it doesn't matter. And going through all that and coming out at the end and becoming a nice person that's the altruistic part. That's the part that most of us would like, man, I hope I'd be that, because I could just see myself just try to kill myself forever. So back then you're like, oh, you're a good person. And it's like, I can aspire to that. That makes me feel like there's a goal. And because of that, I have to give it a Groundhog's Day. Because you can have a moment that relates to Old School, but everyone can relate to Groundhog's Day at certain periods and be inspired by the end. So
I would say this. My 2 cents here. I probably would have gone with Groundhog Day. I think they're both awesome. Let's just get
great
that out of the way, right? Great movies. And the different kinds of comedy, right? They're not
very
the
much
same
so.
vein. But I think Groundhog Day, Old School might be a better comedy, perhaps, but Old School is a better film.
You mean you got Old School is a better comedy, but Groundhog Day is a better film.
Yeah,
correct.
Groundhog Day is a better
Day.
film.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yes.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Old School is just
it's just pure funny. It's a raunchy, comedy. It's fun.
We got the blowjob party. We got the whole engine machine.
Groundhog Day had the heart and a character you can kind of attach to, more relatable than anything for the most part.
And let's not forget, Groundhog Day technically was the first mainstream movie that dealt strictly in the multiverse, because you were reliving a different lives timeline every fucking time.
Multiverse?
It was ahead of his time, dude. Ahead of his time.
That is a multiverse right there. Every time he died, that multiverse, and it still exists out there somewhere. He just went back to the right timeline, or his timeline at the end. But yeah, there's a multiverse.
So Groundhog Day wins. So sadly, we're gonna have to end the show. We'll snap away Old School. I love Old School, but it is what it's always true.
It's okay.
I don't think it was the wrong answer. I don't think it's the wrong answer, to be perfectly honest.
It's okay. Old School Blue is waiting for you
right now.
Listen, the Old School is gonna go the way of Blue at this point. So we'll sing. What's the Chicago song? The Dust in the Wind. There we go. Dust. It kind of coincides with.
See, it does. It does. A little bit.
All right, so winner again, Groundhog Day. Listen, both fantastic movies. There's no question. But yeah, I can't hate that choice at all. Main event, gentlemen. Main event here. This is an interesting one, because this is again movies which, I fucking love each of these films. Right, Gladiator is incredible. Braveheart's amazing. Both Oscar winning. Both, I guess two lead characters which reached martyrdom, I guess, by the end of the film. So two period pieces. Ridley Scott versus Mel Gibson directing. So yeah, I'm trying to see who George, I want to throw you to the fire because I gave you time to practice. I went out the hell, man. I said you go last, but
hey, listen, bro. By the way, it's
in
better
case
that way.
your cell network goes down.
So
let us know.
But look, honestly,
are we fighting freedom, or we want to be entertained here? What we got? Braveheart, Gladiator.
Look, man. I'm gonna try to entertain you guys. My name, kind of the Spaniard, kind of did come obviously I'm from Spain, but you all know that. But I kind of picked it.
España. Say it right.
España. But the thing is, I kind of picked it loosely, and it has to do a lot of it because of Gladiator. Gladiator was one of my favorite movies growing up. So, obviously, without a question, as much as I love Braveheart, as much as I like Freedom, as much as I like everything that Mel Gibson did, I got to go for Gladiator here. Gladiator was a good.
It was that easy for you.
I got a bone to pick. A movie growing up. When did Gladiator come out, dude?
Well, that is a fair point. That was Gladiator. I want to say 2001, 2002.
Okay, so
more or
I
less.
was in college. Though.
I think we're all grown up.
You trying to lie about your age, George? Nobody's buying what you're selling here.
No, man.
Hey,
it's all good, bro.
2000, by the way. 2000
is a very mature 28-year-old. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, young.
I guess so.
Hey, old folks out here,
maybe in Spain they mature later.
25.
Maybe.
25. I was 25 when Gladiator came out,
God, you're that old? My God, I forgot you're like 10 years older than the rest of us.
Oh my God.
You're like 1,000 here at this point.
Just saying.
But yeah, it's no question.
You can believe that.
Gladiator. Yeah, no question for me.
Just like that.
Yeah, Gladiator. Just like that. I mean, look, like I said, the Spaniard had a lot of influence to go with that.
Okay.
Even Blood in the Sand. Remember that series with Spartacus and stuff? Remember that series with the Gladiators and Spartacus and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of like all that stuff.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. It was entertaining. And then, by the way, Joaquin Phoenix, did a great job as Marcus Aurelius.
Caesar.
He was
Before the Joker.
Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Caesar.
so he had that's the movie that kind of broke him and made him into the mainstream, along with other movies. Like that. That was one of the ones that he got it started. So, I mean, for me, it's as much as I like I said,
Joaquin
as much
Phoenix,
as I like
Joaquin
Braveheart.
Phoenix grew up with that film too, George.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, he did.
Guys,
he did.
Funny. The important thing to take away from this is George likes Gladiator movies, guys. That's right. There's nothing wrong with that. He just really likes
nothing
Gladiator
wrong with
movies.
that.
Blood
He loves a good cockfight.
Anything that involves guys in skirts oiled up fighting each other, he's into. So that's it. Stop making him feel bad about it. Jeez.
There's no judgment here. There's no judging here.
Look, man, just because you like it, and you do that on your spare time doesn't mean that I do.
I'm an ally. I'm just quoting what you said. Much like
look,
a movie Airplane.
He's on your side. He's on your side.
Just because you like to oil up and gather up with dudes, that's your fault, not mine.
That's perfectly fine. Hey,
so that being
we're
said,
not going to judge.
Eric, I'll go to you. We'll go to you. You got one vote for Gladiator. Where do you sit? What side of the fence here?
Well, I got to tell you, in terms of story, you're absolutely right. Braveheart is one of the best cinematic stories based on an actual historic figure. I mean, you slosh
Loosely,
the facts.
William Wallace. Yes.
Exactly. The whole thing. But I mean,
enough.
in terms of a movie, it is amazing. There's a romance. There's war. There's intrigue. There's questions of honor and morality. It's great movie. And then you got Gladiator, which is a classic story of a man betrayed not only by his country but also losing the life he had built and swearing revenge to make up for how he was betrayed. I mean, Gladiator is one of the greatest revenge movies you're ever going to see in your entire life. I mean, that's just hands down. Like Old Boy, Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, the original Death Wish and Gladiator, like amazing revenge.
So it's pure revenge. Old Boy is still number one, but that's a different discussion.
Absolutely. I mean, just the ending alone takes it to a stratosphere. But it is in the upper echelon of revenge movies.
Sure.
So
agreed.
and granted, and what the amazing thing is, like I think Chewy said it, both movies have aged well. Like there is no this is especially in the world we have so much like CG and over the top action. Seeing those kinds of fight scenes feels more real and more intense and brutal now than it ever did before. So it's one that you can rewatch infinitely.
Oh yeah.
That being said, then you have to come down to, was it the director or was it the actor that made it the role? And like I said, Ridley Scott, Gladiator, great. Ridley Scott also did, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he do what's that movie?
He's done a lot. He did
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
He's on Alien.
Alien, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but,
I mean, he's
but
done a lot.
he also did Prometheus, so
that's what I was saying.
I'll
He
give
also
you
did
that.
Prometheus.
That is true.
And so,
But he did
because of that concern,
the Martian,
this
Thelma and
Gladiator
Martian, yeah.
2
Thelma and Louise
gets me very apprehensive. And then because of that, I go,
he just dogged on Marvel movies, so
yeah. So then once again, in your eye, and so now I wonder: is this Prometheus? Is not such a bad movie that it makes Alien worse, but it is enough of a bad movie that I don't want to see any more Alien movies. So maybe Gladiator 2 is so bad that maybe George doesn't want to watch Gladiator movies anymore. And that's going to be sad for all of us. I think that's not fair to anybody who's a fan of the genre. So I'm scared for George now.
You squash his
dreams.
See? Yeah, bro, see?
But then you look at the other way and you have Braveheart. And as much as Braveheart is great,
you know, can we get the news and stop Billy Gallo on the weather, dude? Jesus Christ!
Listen, I'm just saying why my thought process. You have
rain is wet. Let's
Mel
go.
Gibson is a major repentant racist. So that kind of taints my love for. It's the reason why I can't listen to Bill Cosby's stand up anymore. I just can't. The artist is too attached to the work. So I think because of that, I'm gonna go Gladiator. Because Gladiator 2 may not ruin Gladiator for me, but I think me and George will both not be interested in any more Gladiator movies after the sequel.
Ooh,
so I'm gonna go Gladiator.
Okay,
they can go get dressed up and as H.R. Robinson go play in a Roman bath or something.
Little swords and sandal action, baby.
You sound jealous.
Okay.
Chewy, you sound like you disagree with the two previous decisions here.
I am going to disagree wholeheartedly, man. I am going
wholeheartedly.
Wholeheartedly.
I didn't half-heartedly.
Braveheart is your classic. Yes, I mean Gladiator is your classic revenge story, right? Right. Braveheart is your love story. Right. I mean, for the love of his newlywed wife, he tried to take down an empire. Right. But I mean, I think we, from a movie perspective, both great movies, man. I mean, these are both cinematic masterpieces. I mean, we have the battle scene that's been made into a meme from Star Wars to everything, where after his great freedom, one of the great speeches in cinematic history, the freedom speech, man. I mean, come on. I mean, that's quoted and re-quoted from everywhere you see it, the memes, the action, both bloody. I mean, up in your face, blood and gore, especially the major battles and stuff. But I definitely go towards Braveheart, man. I think that one is just a little bit more of what I want. I recently saw Gladiator, and I liked it, but going back to Braveheart, I mean, it's got such great lines. I mean, we got the Irishman, one of the King Englishman, right? And he's talking to God, or thinks he's talking to God. We have all these famous actors and scenes, and it's just so grandiose, man.
You have that. I'll give it. That has a great betrayal in there.
Oh my God! The Scottish King. I mean, talk about pulling up a chunk. I mean, my God, dude. I mean, see his face, and it's him.
Yeah, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson. He had the part in that scene. He looked like he had that face like. And we all felt it like.
Damn. It was a Game of Thrones level betrayal.
I do. Yeah, that's a fan. And
King Richard comes in and talking to his son, and then his gay lover. And it's like, who are you? Oh, tell me what you think. Throws him out the window.
Oh yeah, that's pretty badass.
There's some brutal stuff in there, man.
That's pretty badass.
Get this clown out of here, dude. And then the ultimate betrayal at the end, where he's on his dying breath, and he tells him, "I have his son, not yours, grandson. I have Wallace's son, and man, just look on his face as he died. I mean, man, there's betrayal right there, dude. So." Braveheart all the way, man. Sorry.
No, I understand you.
I think Gibson did a better Highlander than Crow did as a Spaniard. Sorry.
No, my question is, do you guys did it because what was it? Because Mel Gibson directed and starred? I mean, does it give it a better thing just because of that?
It doesn't affect me as far as
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mel Gibson. Yeah, I know. Eric, I hear Eric. Think what you will. He's a great director, right? Let's just call it what it is. He is.
Yeah.
And he did a great job with his movie. He was fantastic, and he did a great job. Yeah, I mean, I This is why Thanos has me in this position, because I couldn't make a choice, to be honest with you, because I really don't know who I'd have gone with. I don't. It's tough. I mean,
So you let us do the dirty work. Good.
Yeah, right.
That's how it is, though.
Dirty work.
No
Yeah.
problem. I'm good. I'm good.
That's how it
I'm
is.
good with
sometimes.
it, bro.
Listen,
I'm good with it.
the king, they sent out the pawns, dude. This is what we do. Let it go.
Yeah, the Spaniard agrees. The Spaniard
Come on.
agrees.
All the
Save your
pawns.
rooks,
You know,
save the
and John, no, Queen's Gambit. She's not going on with the queen to the pawn here,
Yeah,
the rook
exactly.
over here. Come on, we didn't learn anything from that show. And then we got George on the side. George is like playing checkers, but whatever, same thing.
Yeah, whatever.
You know, he's a little piece. You know? He's like, king me.
King me, bitch.
There's no king me in chess. Damn it. He doesn't look like Mel Gibson when he got betrayed. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's tough. Listen, it's tough. I don't know what I would have done, but gotta go with decision by esteemed guest. So the winner's gonna have to be Gladiator. It is what it is, and it's with a heavy heart that I prepare this and have to snap
I feel like
away.
Eric this week, man. I feel like I'm the winner. You guys are a bunch of losers.
We're snapping away old school and Gladiator. I mean,
I'll
and
take
Braveheart.
old school and Braveheart, mash it together, see what I get.
It is what it is. You win some, you lose some, Chewy. The decision, the snap is done. They're gone. It is what it is. But at the end, it doesn't matter what we think. We want to know what you guys think. That these guys make the right choice, not me. Don't blame me for this. Was Chewy right? Is Braveheart the better decision? Maybe
Chewy's
it is.
right.
I don't know. Comment, let me know who you would have decided. We are going to do another one. We'll do one more for this year in December. We're going to do a Christmas tournament special of Thanos Choice. All Christmas movies, which probably will include Die Hard, Chewy.
Gremlins. Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
Listen, the line stops at Die Hard. The line stops at Die Hard. And I'm sorry.
I will fight you for this. Gremlins is a Christmas movie. They literally start off as a gift. It is a Christmas movie.
That is true. Yeah, Gremlins is more of a Christmas movie than Die Hard will ever be. Dude.
Stop. Okay, let's.
Die Hard takes place on Christmas Day. There's no gift giving.
I know the loss of Braveheart has hit. The grief is the grief talking. I get it. I have no problem. Sit on it, think about it. I think George would agree if Gizmo had a damn new sandal and skirt on, he'd probably be, I love that Gizmo. But he's fighting Spike in the end. Now, how awesome would that be? Now, that's a movie right there.
Which is funny. I mentioned this because I saw when I was I can't remember what it was, but I caught Gremlins 2, and I forgot it actually starred Count Dooku as the scientist.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
A Breaking Bad baddie. Tuco as a delivery boy. I was like,
that's
right. That's right. Tuco.
And I saw Gremlins 2 in the theater, and I totally fell for the joke right before Hulk Hogan comes in.
Yeah, right before Hulk Hogan.
Be cool.
Oh, I know.
I was like, that's great.
Brother.
Everything about this movie is awesome.
What happened here? But again, Gremlins 2, not a Christmas movie. But I will say this. I'm going to have you guys, I'll probably do mid-December. Send me you guys your top 4 or 5 Christmas movies. All right. And I can kind of compile them. I'm thinking about doing this up to 6, and we'll kind of battle out to see which is the ultimate one. Which
you got it.
Thanos would alleviate 5 out of the 6 of them. That's what I'm thinking. So, so sit on there. I'll come up with a few. We'll do that. So that'll be the next episode. Again, guys, you appreciate it. Subscribe, below, like us. We got the watch list. Watch us on Sundays. Nurse Spinning as well. And we're sprinkling a little George in there and his amazing 5G connection on his phone. So good for you, George. We appreciate it.
And he can also tell us how he grew up with
Gladiator.
He grew up with the the Iron Man, the cinematic universe.
The Marvel universe.
He grew up with the Eternals. Remember those days in the Eternals, man. I was this big. So, I've grown so much since last week. But that being said, we appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, fellas.